In this video, we are taking a detailed, in-depth look at the all-wheel drive capability of the completely redesigned 2023 Honda HRV to see if it will fit your lifestyle and your snow and off-road needs. The Honda HRV is the smallest SUV in the Honda lineup, and for 2023, it's been completely redesigned. It rides on the new Honda Civic platform. It sits a little bit wider and a little bit longer than the outgoing HRV. And in this video, we're going to see how the all-wheel drive capability is, and we're going to run a few different tests. First, we're going to run it through the TFL slip test. We're going to see how the vehicle performs under various situations of loss of traction, and then we're going to run it up the trenches course in the Onyx Off-Road Andres pit to see the real-world application of the TFL slip test. And then lastly, I want to see how the new powertrain deals with some really steep hills. Now, this video is not here to prove or disprove whether or not the HRV is a serious hardcore off-roader, because obviously the answer is it's not designed to be. But the test we're going to run this car through today is very representative of not only how the HRV will perform in dirt situations, but also snow and ice and slush. It's a really good test. It's called the TFL slip test. So we get the vehicle stuck on purpose in these rollers, various wheels stuck on purpose in the rollers to see how the all-wheel drive system copes to get us unstuck. So first up, we've got the front wheel slip test. So in this test, both front wheels are stuck in the rollers, and then the rear axle is going to have to engage to get us unstuck. So let me back onto the rollers, nice and gently. And then what I'm going to do is put the car into neutral and let it settle. All right, just like that. Okay, into neutral, let it settle. Now we've got a couple of different drive modes in this Honda. We're going to start out in normal mode, and then we're also going to try the snow mode. So into drive, foot off the brake, a little bit of accelerator. Oh, very good performance. It didn't take really any movement whatsoever of the front wheels before those were ready to go. In some vehicles, you have to spin, spin, spin before the rear axle engages, so that was very good. Now we'll try it one more time in snow mode just to see if there's any difference. Let me select the snow mode. Okay, into drive, and now onto the accelerator. So largely the same result. A very impressive result in the Honda HRV in the front wheel slip test. Woo! Next up is the diagonal slip test. So this is going to be corners of the car stuck in the roller. So the left front and the right rear stuck, the other two on the ground with traction. Now this is a very common situation in the snow, in the muck, in slush, right? Where you have opposite ends of the car that are stuck and the traction control is going to have to engage to get us unstuck. So into reverse, backing onto the rollers. Now with a vehicle with open differentials, what's going to happen is the wheels that are stuck are going to spin and spin and spin. The wheels that are on the ground are going to remain stationary. Now with open diffs, the torque applied to the wheels on the ground is the same as the torque applied to the wheels in the rollers. And because the rollers are a really slippery surface, you tend to get really stuck. And that's where traction control comes in to try to get us unstuck. So we're neutral here, into drive. We're going to put it into normal mode. And let's see what happens on the diagonal slip test. So off of the brake, onto the accelerator. So taking quite a bit of accelerator now. Traction control is blinking. That's full throttle. Ooh, we are completely stuck. Interesting. Let's go ahead and try the snow mode. See if that has any difference. Accelerating away now. It's trying, it's thinking about it. Full throttle. Ooh, interesting. We are still stuck. Let's try turning off traction control. Traction control is reduced. Here we go. All right, so we were able to get unstuck, but that took quite a bit of work. A lot more than I was expecting, actually. We'll just have to see how that translates to real-world performance here in a second. For 2023, the Honda HRV is available in one engine and one transmission option, and then two different drive configurations. So the engine is a 2-liter 4-cylinder making 158 horsepower and 138 pound-feet of torque, and that's mated to a continuously variable transmission, and it's available in front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive configurations. The one we're driving today is the all-wheel drive. Next up, the 3-wheeled slip test. So both rear wheels totally stuck, the right front totally stuck, only the left front has traction. And I'm going to go into normal mode, normal traction control, just like you would drive it every day. We'll see if we can get unstuck with just that one wheel on the ground. Into drive, off the brake, in 3, 2, 1. Lot of spinning. Okay, nothing going on. So let's go into the snow mode, see if that'll help. Snow mode. Definitely a little bit more aggressive on the traction control in snow mode, but still. We're stuck. Let's go snow mode, and let's go traction control reduced into drive here. Yeah, I think that this is going to be a fail on the first three-wheel slip test. All right, Brendan, put the camera on the ground as like a little tripod. You can leave it rolling though. And then you want to give me a push off from the back. Be sure to push kind of from the middle, so if the rollers go shooting out, they don't take out your ankle. I'll tell you when. Are you ready? Go for it. Nice. So it didn't take much to get us unstuck, just Brendan with that little bit of a push, but the car couldn't do it by itself. So a fairly disappointing result on the TFL slip test. And I, from lots and lots and lots of years of running all sorts of vehicles through the slip test, find a direct correlation between performance in the slip test to performance out in the snow and out in adverse conditions. Now for comparison, let's see how a recent Subaru Crosstrek performs. Now this Crosstrek, like most Subarus, does have a continuously variable transmission. So here we go, diagonal slip test. This is gonna be the snow and dirt mode. Okay, foot off the brake, now. First of the three-wheeled slip test. So in this first test, both rear wheels are stuck. Let's try deep snow and mud. What's a little bit baffling about this to me is that Honda builds one of my all-time favorite all-wheel drive systems. If you take a look at the system in the Honda Passport and the Honda Pilot and the Honda Ridgeline, for example, that iVTM4 system is incredible. Check this out. Let's start her up. Now into drive. See if we're a little bit stuck here. I think we might be. The iVTM4 system works amazingly, and I actually recently just ran a brand new, still camouflaged Pilot through a pretty serious off-road test, and it just killed it. It knocked it out of the park. It blew me away. So I wish we saw some of that technology make its way into the Honda HRV, or at least some additional programming of the traction control or drive modes to allow some more wheel slip and then a firmer grasp down on the brake caliper of the wheel that's spinning to force wheel speed to the wheels that have traction. All right, so now for the three-wheeled slip test, only the right rear is on the ground. Now we didn't get off the rollers with the front wheel on the ground. This is primarily a front wheel drive bias system, so I'm not hoping for much with the rear wheel on the ground, but we'll see what happens. Into drive, normal mode, normal traction control on. Ooh, on the accelerator, it's trying to cheat. Don't go sliding off on me, car. It's trying to apply torque, but we are stuck. Okay, let me go into snow mode here. Snow mode engaged. It's working at it, it's trying. Come on, baby. We'll try traction off. Yeah, I think we're stuck. Still trying. All right, Brendan, give me a push, buddy. Ready? Brendan is strength of many men. Didn't take much to get us unstuck, but the car couldn't do it by itself. All right, now for a real-world application of the TFL slip test, we're out here at the Onyx Off-Road Andre's Pit Course, and we're gonna try trenches, which are these trenches dug in the ground at offset angles, and we're gonna get the vehicle onto two wheels, very common, not only off-road, but also in the snow. It's representative of that, and then it starts to get steeper toward the top, and we're gonna see if the Honda all-wheel drive system can get us through this difficult challenge. So I'm gonna go normal traction control and drive mode into normal as well, and we're gonna see what happens. So the left wheel is gonna fall into the first of the trenches, and what we're gonna do is drive nice and slowly. We don't wanna cheat, we don't wanna get too much momentum going. We want this to be a challenging test. And then what's gonna happen is the right front wheel is gonna lift into the ground, as it has done there. And now I'm going to apply some accelerator. That's full accelerator now. And the system is trying to figure out what to do, but we are stuck. So let me try to go into the snow mode, see if that leads to any better results. Full throttle. System's trying to figure it out, but we are still stuck. Interesting. What if I go traction control reduced? There we go. Full throttle. Okay, we got a little bit more wheel spin, and that's what it took. So it took a little bit more wheel spin to the system to get us unstuck, but crucially there, which is interesting, is the traction control is still cutting in. So it's a good system where it allows some wheel spin, but not only wheel spin. Okay, so we're gonna go into the next divot here. I'm gonna pick up the the wheels, that's a much better performance. So the key in the HRV, snow mode, traction control reduced. Let me go, come on, figure it out. It's thinking about it. There we go, there we go. Okay, but once again, I don't want to maintain too much momentum. I want this to be a challenging test still, but I'm going to need a little bit, I think, to make it to the top. This is the hardest one. This is the hardest challenge because it's the steepest. Full throttle. Come on, Honda. That CVT is not doing us any favors either. Let me go normal mode, traction control reduced. Yeah, it doesn't make too much of a difference, but I think snow is just a little bit better. So back into snow mode, and I'm going to try to get up this with just a little bit of momentum. I think I should be able to do it. Come on, Honda, come on, come on, come on. There you go, there you go, there you go. Full throttle, not letting off, not letting off. And the system did it. Come on, almost there, almost there. Keep going, keep going. Woohoo! All right, well, we burnt some tire, that's for sure. Now, this system is not the most impressive I've used, I have to be honest about that. There's not nearly enough wheel speed that's given to the ground, but most importantly, there's not nearly enough brake actuation on those spinning wheels. It would be awesome if Honda gave us a trail sport version that had an off-road mode, because right now we only have normal econ and snow, but an off-road mode that allows some additional brake grab would be really cool to transfer wheel speed to the wheels on the ground. So now that we saw how that vehicle performed in the trenches course, I'm left wondering a question. It feels like there's very limited torque applied to the ground on steep hills with this powertrain setup. So I wanted to try a steep hill to see how the vehicle will perform. Let's check that out now. So I'm going to accelerate up to midway through this hill and then stop, and we're going to see if the power is enough to get us up to the top. So I'm going to start in normal mode, everything on like we always do. I'm going to gently accelerate from the base partway up the hill, and then I'm just going to simply come to a stop. So right about here. Now let's see if the HRV has what it takes to get us to the top. Actually pretty good torque delivery when you have traction to the ground, but as wheels start to slip, that's where things get a little hairy. Like right about here, full throttle, we are not going anywhere. Now of course I could take this with momentum, but that kind of defeats the purpose of the test, but I'll try just a small bump. Okay, what about sport mode? This vehicle does have a sport mode with the transmission here. Not too much difference, and then there's also a low on the CVT. Come on, figure it out, Honda. So a little bit of slip, but not much, and unfortunately we didn't quite have the ability to make it to the top of this hill. I'll try it one more time. I don't want to cheat too much by just taking it with speed. Yeah, so that was full throttle, and it just doesn't quite deliver enough power to the ground to get us past that one rock. So a good effort, but not quite what it takes. So overall, the Honda HRV, a very efficient vehicle, a very capable vehicle on road, but it did not perform extremely well in our slip test or our off-road situations. Now, is this enough capability for a lot of people? I do think so. Yes, it's not a hardcore off-roader. Yes, I would love to see a trail sport version, but still, I feel like in the snow, it may be somewhat limited compared to some of this vehicle's direct competitors. Well, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. As always, it's been Tommy with TFL Off-Road. We'll see you on the next video.